So I'm here at one of my favorite places on earth, the warm mineral spring in Venice, Florida. And I'm thinking about, you know, my purpose in life and what I've done so far and what I hope to do. And, I discovered something when I was 20 years old. I discovered chiropractic. As many of you know, I was in a terrible car accident. I was a passenger in a car that flipped through a cornfield when I was 16. I was in a coma. They told my mom that I wouldn't wake up. They told them that I was going to die. When I woke up, they told me and them that I would never get all of my memory back and that I would be paralyzed from the waist down for the rest of my life. I used to lay in bed and just imagine, well, if I can't move my legs during the day, I'll move them while I dream at night. So at 16, laying in the hospital bed, I would dream that I could move my big toe. I'd wake up in the morning, I'd imagine that I was still dreaming that I could still move my big toe, that I could run. And one day my right big toe moved. And after that, all my toes, and after that, my ankles, and then my knees, then my left hip. And the last thing to come back was my right hip, and over the next 4 years, it would often lose its motor ability for a while, and then it would come back. My right shoulder was inches higher than my left shoulder. My left shoulder was forward. My right shoulder was back. My hips were crooked. My head was tilted. I was in horrible, constant pain. I went to therapy, usually 3 or 4 mornings a week before school. At first when I was in my wheelchair, and later when I was in just a corset to hold myself together, the pelvis that had been broken into 17 pieces, and back that had been broken in a few places in the concussion. And I'd go down and put myself in a pool, and I'd cross my legs in the pool and try to swim, rocking my pelvis, trying to get some relief of the pain. I used to watch Lilius Yoga and You on the UHF channel, and the only yoga position I could do was Shavasana, which is where you just lay quietly, and yet it would give me some temporary relief of pain. And so I would go to therapy at the hospital maybe 3 mornings a week before school, have diathermy, Med-Casan later, ultrasound, all the physical therapies. I saw the neurologist, neurosurgeons, orthopedist, physiatrist, everybody. And for 4 years, I suffered. I ended up going to college, and the trainers at the basketball team helped to give me therapy 3 or 4 times a week. I was an A student, but I missed too many classes because of my infirmity, and I finally just dropped out of college. I found myself working at a shoe store in Detroit, and one day I picked up maybe 8 rolls of toilet paper in a pack, and it put me on the ground. I couldn't move. The girl that worked there, don't know where she is today or what she's doing, but I'll go ahead and name her. Her name was Marilyn Fry. She worked there part-time. She encouraged me to go to her chiropractor. And I said, I've been to all the doctors. I've tried everything. She said, my uncle's different. My uncle's a chiropractor, and he's different. He does something different. It's something you've never seen before. I went out there. Oh, he took my x-rays. He put them up on the screen. He said, yep, I see your problem. I can help you. Put me on the table. Pop, pop, pop. I went home that night, and I was very sick to my stomach. So when I'm back 2 days later, and I told the doctor very humbly and very, diplomatically, because of the status of doctors, and I said, sir, I appreciate what you did for me Monday, but I was very sick to my stomach that evening. And he looked at me and he said, that's wonderful. I never thought we would get that kind of great results so quickly. Lay down on the table, pop, pop, pop. I walked out of there the second time. I came back 2 days later. Sir, I need to tell you that, my right shoulder's been in constant horrible pain for 4 years. And now after the treatment you gave me 2 days ago, now my left shoulder hurts. Oh, he smiled and brightened up and stood up tall and said, oh my God, I can't believe we got such great results so soon. I wasn't expecting this kind of a wonderful change so quickly. Pop, pop, pop. I walked out of there and I was with someone, and it was a 20-minute drive back. So we stopped at Kmart. Walking through Kmart, laughing and talking. And when you're in constant horrible pain, you don't walk and laugh and talk. And I suddenly stopped and I turned to her and I said, I'm not hurting anywhere. She took me by the hand and took me over in front of the 3 mirrors there in the clothing department at Kmart. And I stood up and I looked in those mirrors. My shoulders were level. My head was level. My hips were level. Like Adam in the Garden of Eden. I was alive again. But I decided right then to devote my life to this work. And that's why I'm a chiropractor. That's why I get up every day and I do my job. Because I know that I'm helping to keep disc functioning. I'm helping to keep bones from spurring. I'm getting pressure off the nerves that go everywhere in the body and do everything in the body. And I know that when people are in alignment, when their spines are moving properly, that everything in their body is working better. And I'm thankful that as a young man, even though I had to go through 4 years of hell, that I found my calling. And I appreciate all those who have let me help them over the years, and all those people who have assisted me in my work. And that's kind of what I'm thinking about today on my vacation here in paradise. Thanks for listening.